In this section, I'm going to insert what's called a number counter. Now here's our page so far, so what I want to do is insert a number counter module here. So I'll go and enable the Visual Builder, and I'll scroll down, and what I want to do is to install a new section here. So I'll click on Add New Section, go for Regular, and in this case I'll select this layout here. So in this first column I want to scroll down so I can find the number counter. There it is. So I click on this, and first of all I'll give it a title. So I'll just say something like years in business, and I'll put 15 in there. Now as you can see, by default it doesn't show 15, it shows 15%. So if I go down here to where it says elements, I can take the percent sign off. So years in business, 15 years. If I go to the Design tab, there's all sorts of things I can change. So for instance, the title text, by default that's set as an H3. If I want it as an H2, I would click there, and that would give it different formatting. Again, this has relevance to SEO, so check out my SEO course. I'll actually leave it as an H3. You can change all the usual elements here. So the font type, if you want to, you can select something else. So let's go for actor. No idea what that looks like. Not so good. So we'll go and select something else, or just set it back to the default, which is quite nice. So that you can set the font type there. You can set the font weight, so we can go for light, regular, semi-bold, bold, ultra bold. Let's go for semi-bold. Yeah, that'll do. We can change the alignment. I wouldn't bother changing that. We can change the text color, so if you don't want black, you could have, I don't know, maybe red or something, or green, or blue, or back to black. So we'll leave it as black in this case. The actual title text size, if I just drag along here, then obviously I can make this bigger or smaller, depending what I want. So I'll bring it down a little bit, so I'll go for maybe a little bit bigger. I'll go for that, 15 years in business, and it's looking like that. I can change the title spacing, so for instance I can have it spread out like that, or sometimes just using a value of 1 there is quite nice because it just inserts extra spaces. In this case I'll reduce it back to 0. The title line height, if you had something going over 2 or 3 lines, you could adjust that. The title shadow, I mean, if you want, you can add shadow effects like so. So just click on these to see those. I'm not a great fan of those, so I'll click here to remove the shadow. The number, again, if I want to change that, you know, the number type, again, I can change the font or the weight. So if we go for something like ultra bold, it'll look like that, maybe a bit over the top. Let's go for semi-bold. Yeah, that's okay. And again, I can change the alignment and the text. So if I want, say, red, it'll look like that, blue, purple. Maybe go for that one. It kind of matches the other colours up there for the time being. So as we come down here, there's various things we can do. We can change the size, obviously. It's 72 at the moment, so I can make it smaller or indeed really big. So I'll set it back to 72, which is the default, just by typing 72 in. Oops. So I'll type in 72 and it's back to the original size. Again, I can adjust the spacing, the line height, add shadows if I want to. So you could have a shadow like so, which looks horrible. Maybe that one, or none, which I think is just easier. As with all modules, you can change the you can change the sizing here, or you can change the spacing. So you can change the padding there if you want to. You can also add a border if you want, and you can add a background color. So if you wanted a background color, you could go to here, add a background color, maybe blue, look like that. Personally, I think it's best off just as is, nice and plain. So as I said, there's lots of customization you can do, and when you finish, you can just say, okay, save your changes. And as you've seen before, instead of creating these other ones here from scratch, what I can do is simply go to here on the first one that we've already formatted and say duplicate the module, click twice, and then I can just simply copy that or drag that over there, So they're all exactly the same, of course, so we can go and change these ones. So I'll go and format this second one here, and this time I'll call it customers who recommend us, and I'll change that figure to say 95, but we want this as a percentage this time, so if I click down here and say turn the percentage on and save my changes. So there we are, we've now got two number counters. The first one is using business 15, customers who recommend us 95%, and finally we'll go and change this one over here. So in this case I'll just call it number of villas, and I'll change this to 21 and click on OK. So there we are, we've got that. Of course we could, if we wanted to, go and format the background. So if we wanted to do that, we could go here and we could format the entire section background and add either a color, a graded color, a picture, or indeed a video, but we'll just leave it as is for the time being. I'll go and save my changes.